Condos, are you looking to buy one or sell one? I have a suggestion, and I know that this is a concept that works because it just happened to me yesterday. I'm John Rurkowski. I help families transition to the next chapter in their life. I'd love to help you if you're looking to sell a condo or buy a condo. The condo market is extraordinarily tough right now. And it just got harder because Fannie and Freddie, the main backers of all loans, just made it harder to get a loan on a condo. So hear me out here. If you are a seller and have no mortgage or a very small mortgage on your condo, I think you should consider seller financing. And here's why. Many buyers would love to buy your condo, but they can't get a loan. They don't have enough cash to pay cash, but they have quite a bit down. They've got a good job. They have income. They have money in the bank. It's just that the condo won't be approved by their lender for a bunch of different reasons. And it's not your fault. It might be the viability of your condo association. So by opening up the opportunity for a buyer to buy your condo with you being the bank, you holding the note basically, what do you have to lose? And by the way, before I did this video, I checked with one of my go-to attorneys, asking him, how hard is it to evict somebody, okay, or foreclose on a person, basically, when they stop making payments to you, the bank? And he said, the court system is very favorable to a seller. And look at everything I'm saying here to you. Check with your lender, check with your attorneys, whatever. But this is just general information which I've gathered over the last few days, because I told my two sellers who have no mortgages on condos to let's open the door for potential seller financing. I mean, what do they have to lose? You know, in both cases, they're going to ask for 50% down. It's a lot of money, 7.5% interest, a balloon in 2 or 3 years. Okay, so realistically, they're getting far more than they would if they sold it to a regular buyer who's paying cash, or a finance buyer who's paying, getting a loan and closing on it because of the added interest. Another positive thing is you're getting it off your books. You don't have to worry about insurance and taxes and those ever rising maintenance fees. So I got my notes together here like I always do, and I put them together, type them out so I can read my own writing. I'm sure many of you know what I'm referring to. So Tampa Bay condo homeowners. What if there was another way to sell your condo without lowering the price? Keep the price the same. We're looking for different ways to sell the condo at the given price we have it listed at. If there was another way to sell your condo when traditional buyers are having trouble making the numbers work, would you be open to having a conversation? Of course you would. The whole idea is to get it off the books. No more maintenance fees, no more insurance, no more taxes, no more utilities on that condo. Be the bank. And most people aren't in the position to do this, but if you are, this could be a golden goose for you. One option worth exploring could be seller financing. And again, check with your lender. If you have a loan on a condo, that loan must be paid off prior to you doing this. And it could be done at closing, a simultaneous payoff of your mortgage while you're doing seller financing with the new condo. But do check, the fine print, and just call your loan officer and ask them, this is what I'm trying to do. Can we do it? A seller may potentially create a larger pool of prospective buyers. The seller may be able to structure terms that make the property more attractive instead of receiving all proceeds at closing. The seller receives payments over time. There can potentially be a tax cash flow consideration worth discussing with the seller's CPA or attorney. And critically, the seller is taking on risk because they are effectively becoming the lender. Yes, there's risk involved, but would you rather have that risk or have the property sit on the market without any potential buyers because you can't get a loan and the cash buyers don't want to buy it? Again, just an option. We're increasing the net, as I've mentioned before. We want as wide a net as possible to get as many potential buyers in your property. That's why we're going to do great photography. We're going to do some great marketing. We're going to get it on a YouTube channel. We're going to host Brokers Opens. We're going to do all the things we can to create a large funnel. And this is just one more of them. By opening the door to seller financing for that buyer who is qualified to buy it, but just not through traditional means. Do you own the condo free and clear? Or is there an existing mortgage, as we discussed before? What do the loan documents say? Right? What down payment would you require? Remember, we're going to have your existing mortgage paid off in order to do this. Think about what interest rates and terms you want. Look, the current rate for conventional loans right now is 6.5 to 7. VA and FHA are a little bit less, but VA and FHA can't buy a condo for the most part, many times. And conventional is getting harder, as I mentioned. So 7.5, 8% would not be out of the norm for doing seller financing today. Again, this is August 2026. How is the loan secured? How much money we're going to require down? And I'd have an attorney who's going to do the closing, write up the documentation for you at no cost to you. That would be the burden of the buyer buying the property. What happens if the buyer stops paying? And what legal documents and servicing arrangements are needed? That's why I've got colleagues in the legal fields who would do this for you, and you'd be protected. For condos specifically, there's another interesting angle. Seller financing may solve a buyer's financing problem, but it doesn't make the condo's underlying problems disappear. HOA finances, assessments, insurance, condition, resale considerations, association rules, and the buyer's ability to carry the property still matter. We still have to get the buyer qualified. Just because they say they can do this doesn't mean we're going to take their word for it. We're going to have them do a full-blown application with a lender that I know. They've got to be interviewed and approved by the association as well. The only difference between this and a conventional loan transaction is that the money is coming from you. You are the bank. It's not the traditional banks out there or mortgage brokers who are loaning the money. In a difficult condo market, sometimes the answer isn't simply lowering the price again. Sometimes it's looking at different ways to structure the sale. Seller financing isn't appropriate for every seller out there. But if you own a condo in Tampa Bay, it might be a solution. And I just wanted to offer that to you. And if you're a buyer looking for a condo and you can't get a loan, all right, maybe have your realtor say, will the seller accept seller financing? Maybe they will. What do you have to lose? If you can't get that condo because you can't pay cash and a lender won't loan on the condo today for whatever reason, their guidelines are getting stricter and stricter. Tell your realtor to ask the seller if the seller will hold the note. If they will, great. The next step is let's work out the terms. And it's got to be a win-win, right? Got to be a win for you and the seller. And for your sellers out there, give it some thought. And I'd love to discuss it with you. If you'd like to ask any questions, I'm here for you. I'm John Rurkowski. Oh, I forgot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like this information. I try to provide just common sense, boots on the ground information. I've been doing this since 2001, mostly as a broker running large companies. I sat on the board of directors at the Florida Realtors writing these contracts up. So I know the contracts pretty well. And I was able to oversee tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of contracts over the last 21 years. So if I can help you at all, reach out today and subscribe. Until we chat, take care of yourself and each other and be well. Peace.